because I feel like everybody has their own interpretation of the American dream. Like I was just right while everybody was talking, I was thinking of like all the like the movies I've seen, like about the American dream and all that. And I totally agree with you when you said about like when you have to put in the work for your American dream, and like what Sabrina said, saying like, you know, my parents came here, you know, from Mexico or whatever, and they, you know, they always tell me, and like all my family are always supporting us, like, because we have like a huge family, they're always supporting, like, yeah, you should like go to school. And, you know, if it wasn't, I guess if it wasn't for like my cousin Myrna, I wouldn't have ever came here, and I feel like I would have gone the same path as like my brothers, going into like a public or another public school or whatever, and like I wouldn't have been more successful, because I feel like I'm in my family, like, you know, God willingly, I'll be the first one to you know, go to college and actually achieve something in my life, but also for my parents' life. And you know, for my family and all that. So I feel like that's like the American dream. And then like, well, going back to like all the movies that I've seen, like for example, like Scarface. Got to. Well, no, but just at the end of the quote where he says, "You got to make moves."
Yeah.
Like, you got to make moves. Like he's saying, like for like the protagonist in the movie, Tony Montana, whatever. His interpretation of the American dream is like, because he came from Cuba, he's a refugee from Cuba, and like he had to, you know, he feels like you have to get the money, you know, the power and all this and that, and like you feel like you have to rise up in America, and that was his American dream. And like Scarface is like very, very like similar to The Great Gatsby, because Gatsby did almost the same thing, and you know, at the end, you know, he got killed, and then you know, that's what happened in Scarface. And then like there in another movie, in American Gangster, with Denzel Washington, there was an assassination attempt, like to kill him and his wife. And then when he went back to his house, like his wife was all like all paranoid, saying like, "Oh no, we gotta leave" or whatever. And Denzel was all like, "We're not going anywhere. This is America." You know, he said like that, saying, because, you know, back to what you were saying, making moves. He was bringing in heroin from Vietnam, and then like he was like selling it heavy. He was like one of the like the big drug distributors in the '60s and all that. And I'm not saying like I'm just saying like everybody has their own interpretation when it comes to like drug dealing, and you make it on your own, or you actually doing it legally, and you know, going into like business and whatnot. Or again with like our parents' situation, they come and they want us to give us a better life, and then for overall like to help ourselves and our family in the future and all that. So like everybody has their own interpretation of the American dream. It's just that you know, some people, like for the majority, it's all this like, we have this illusion like, oh, the American dream is to be wealthy and like, you know, be rich and all that. But at the end, it's not really about that. It's whatever you do to make your American dream possible.